Hi, my name is Victoria Zlitsky.
And I'm Mehetav Singh.
And my name is Brenda Dennis, and we'd like to welcome you to LMTV Live.
Today we are honored to have with us Mr. Evan Weisblatt from Murray Avenue School.
Mr. Weisblatt is the director of the choral activities at the Murray Avenue Middle School. He not only teaches the general music for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, but he also leads the school's drama club and chorus.
Mr. Weisblatt also founded and leads Line Boys, a select contemporary a cappella group whose members must go through a very rigorous audition process. They perform at various local venues and compete in numerous competitions. First and foremost, we'd like to congratulate you as we know you recently got married.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a wonderful time. Thank you.
So Mr. Weisblatt, as you know, the middle school students will be moving into the original Lower Warren High School. Shortly after, the middle school is slated to be demolished. Can you tell us what you're going to miss most about this building?
Yeah, well, I think that people get attached to the places where they've spent a lot of time and made a lot of memories. So I think it will definitely be, it'll be hard to say goodbye to this building. And, this is where I've spent the vast majority of my teaching career. So I've built a lot of relationships here and created a lot of bonds with students and staff. So it'll definitely be, bittersweet, to see the building go. But I'm very excited to be in the new building, have an updated classroom. I don't know if you know, but this used to be a science classroom. That's why there's like a random counter there. There used to be a whole sink. So it doesn't really fit well necessarily, ideally for a chorus, but we make it work and we make a lot of good music in here. So I'm going to be sad to see it go, but I'm excited for the new opportunities ahead.
Mr. Weisblatt, what do you regard as your favorite memories in this historical building?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know if I can pick out one specific memory because I've just really had so much joy the time I've spent here. I've seen a lot of really wonderful students come through, and it would be tough for me to pick out just one specific moment. But I definitely say, just all the chorus classes I've had in here have really been very fulfilling, and those memories are attached to this place.
What are you most looking forward to as you move up to the original Lower Warren High School?
I think I'm very excited to be to take over Ms. Diener's current classroom. That's set up like a standard chorus class, so it has the tiered seating. So that'll make life a little bit easier. As you see, I've had to get a little creative with how we set up the chairs in here. So I'm excited for that. I'm also excited to have a real auditorium and a stage for our musical rehearsals. I think that's going to be fantastic. And it's just a bit of an update. So it'll be nice to be it's not a new building, but it's definitely a newer building. So that'll be awesome.
How do you feel the move to the high school building will impact the music, drama, and performing arts programs for the middle school students?
I think we have some pretty strong programs going on currently. So, I don't think there would be necessarily fundamental shifts, but I think being in a friendlier space, the way that the rooms are set up is definitely friendlier for how we need to conduct music classes and ensemble classes, and the rooms are definitely bigger as well. So that can just lend itself to an easier experience and a more comfortable environment to sing in. So I think that will definitely benefit the programs for sure. Yeah.
How do you see the new high school with its state-of-the-art classrooms and innovative auditorium benefiting its students?
So are you talking about the brand new building?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. Well, I think that, the current high school building was built in the 70s or something like that. So a long time ago. It's been renovated, but definitely trends in education and the way that buildings are designed for students to learn in and exist in have changed a lot. And the philosophies behind that have changed a lot since the current high school building was constructed. So I think that it's going to be a really wonderful place for the high school students to learn and grow in. I think that there's going to be a lot of natural light and just cool designs, and I think it's just going to be an exciting place to be and to come to school every day. So I'm a little jealous, but I'm happy. I'm definitely happy for all the students that I used to teach get to be in there, and I think it'll really be a great place for them to learn. And the new auditorium or whatever sort of performance space that they do have in the new building will definitely be a nice update. So that should definitely provide a great space for the arts to thrive.
I can imagine that the last performances at Murray Avenue will be emotional. I know for me, as a Murray Avenue graduate, it will be bittersweet. Are there any plans to make these last performances special?
So I think that we're always trying to give the best performances that we can for the students in the community. So I can't think of specifically like anything in particular that we have planned at this point to add an extra element to the final performances, but it doesn't mean we won't come up with anything. Thankfully, we still have a little bit of time to think about that, and as you guys know, students often come up with really cool ideas and ways to make things memorable and special. So I'm definitely open to seeing like what the last group of Murray Avenueians, what ideas that they might have to add a special element to those final performances. Yeah.
Well, the first performances at the new venues will be equally special and emotional. Are there any plans to make the opening night at these venues special? And do you know what the first production will be at the new Lower Moreland Middle School?
That's a great question. So as of right now, we're just taking things kind of year by year, even day by day. So I'm still planning the upcoming winter concert for Murray Avenue, let alone thinking about the one that might be a couple years from now. However, I think we'll definitely find ways to make that an extra memorable night. I think it's just going to be even more exciting just knowing that it's our first time in a space that's our own. And as far as the first production, I don't know. We usually, the drama directors and I usually decide the production at the beginning of each school year. So you'll have to check back in with us either next August or the one after that. So we'll get back to you on that one.
Music and the arts many times unite a community in times of sadness, division, struggles, or other conflicts. Knowing this healing power of music and the arts, how does this guide you as you prepare which songs and productions students will sing year after year?
Yeah, that's a great question, Brenda. So every year it's definitely a huge process for me selecting repertoire because there are a lot of different factors to consider. I mean, at the very basic level, you have middle school singers and they have very unique needs, obviously going through a time of a lot of physical change and growth and the way that affects their voices. So I definitely have to keep that in mind when I'm picking repertoire, and also like the musical preferences of middle schoolers and the types of music that they like to perform. Fortunately, I often really like that music as well, so that works out. But thankfully, we have a very supportive and awesome community here in Lower Moreland that is very open to hearing a lot of different types of music, and music that has a lot of historical context to it and can be a little bit spiritual without being like too much that way because we're still in a public school district, obviously. So I'm considering like all these factors when I choose music and to perform for the concerts. And at the end of the day, I want to pick something that's going to like create a moment for the audience and for the performers and create special musical experiences for everyone involved so that we're excited for some songs, but then we like feel really deeply in other songs that we just kind of go through a whole concert together, going through a lot of different emotions. So it's not just like one sort of boring event, but it has a lot of dynamic to it, and it's just a really memorable evening for everyone.
So excited! Thank you for sharing your thoughts, reflections, and perspectives with us, Mr. Weisblatt.
And thank you all for joining us today. Till next time, I'm Mehtab Singh.
And I'm Brenda Das.
And I'm Victoria Zlipsky.
And this is LMTV Live.